What is going on, everybody? I have a really good video for you today where I'm going to show you how I use AI to do all my investment research, and I think you're going to find a lot of value out of this. I typically don't do long form content, but it makes all the sense right now because a lot of people have been asking me, how do I use AI to really do my investment research? And I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. So let's get into it. This website is called Perplexity AI, and traditionally, you can use any type of website out there. There's so many different options. You have ChatGPT, Gemini, there's Grok now that's really stepping it up lately. But this website, Perplexity, recently they added a finance section to their website, and I've been using it, and it's really, really good. So you're gonna head to perplexity.ai, and you're gonna go to the finance section, and it's going to give you, at the top here, you could see it says US markets or crypto. So you could, toggle between each one. But we're gonna focus on the US markets. So honestly, like, they give a really good UI and view of really, you can create a watch list on the top right. You have your gainers, losers, the most active, and then it'll give you a market summary, and you can kind of like have your futures here. You can kind of toggle that and make sure you have everything that you need at the top on what you want to see. So if you scroll down, you could look at your different sectors inside the S&P, latest news that's going around, so you can stay up to date in the markets. They even have upcoming earnings, and then you could see over here fixed income and bunch of standouts. Just really nice UI that they've recently done, and I'm honestly surprised. And I think I'm going to be using this a lot more than I used to. But just getting into it, so just different ways and different prompts that you can do. So on the top here, you can search for stocks, ETF news, and more, and it'll give you some like sample prompts right here. And if you look right below the search bar, there's regular search, there's research, or call it deep research. And then you could also have labs. I don't really use labs. I create projects from scratch. I'm not really using that. That's not what I use this for. So the difference between search and then deep research. So deep research will, and I'll show you like the difference and like what it actually does. But search, you can see where it says fast answers to everyday questions. Most of the time, you're going to be just using the regular search. It's much faster than deep research, but you could just put in here just an example prompt. You could say, give me 3 stocks that have revenue growth of 20 plus percent over the last 2 years and have expected free cash flow growth of 15% the next 3 years. Just an example prompt, and this does everything like in seconds. So you can see all of the sources that it's picking from. It's just going through. It's basically just scanning the website or the internet and picking through these different websites and basically just feeding all of this information to you. So it'll literally take seconds. And we're still early with AI, so there may be some mistakes that this makes. So always fact check it. And then you can kind of see here. So it gave something out and says, hey, these are 3 stocks that meet or come very close to my criteria. So revenue growth of 20% over the last 2 years, expected free cash flow growth of at least 15% over the next 3. So it looks like these are companies that are based out of India. And then you have CoreWeave here. So they gave me 2 companies that look like they're based out of India. Now, I don't know Dixon. You could look that up and see if it's an actual company that's listed on one of the major exchanges. But you can see like CoreWeave is here now. So it says right here, if you require only Indian stocks, these are the clear choices. So if you want to, you can even see it gives you a really nice comparison table, which is really nice. But if you don't want that, just give me US based stocks. and you can see how quickly it gives. So NVIDIA, Shopify is the next one, and then Zeta Global Holdings. So you can see how quick that literally took. And this is like where you can start your research. So if you see these companies that pop up and you're like, oh, I never heard of Zeta Global Holdings, let me do more of a deep dive. So we're going to use Zeta Global Holdings as an example here. So ticker is just Zeta. And then there's other related prompts here. But what we're going to do is say, give me a deep dive analysis of Zeta Global Holdings. Risks, growth opportunities, and everything I should know about them. So for this one, we're going to do deep research. And then there, you can upgrade the pro. I don't have pro. You only get one prompt for deep research, but we'll hit that. And it's going to tell you where it's pulling from, how it's thinking, so you can see what it's actually doing. So it's going to get revenue drivers, business model. You scroll up here, competitive positioning, strategic initiatives, market competition, really everything that you should know as an investor before investing into a company. So it's going to just it takes a little bit when you do the deep research, because it's just pulling and trying to get more for you instead of worrying about how fast it's giving out the information. So we'll let it run its course. Should probably take like another like 5, maybe 10 seconds. But this is really, really nice because you want to make sure as an investor you have the most information as possible, right? Especially when you're just learning about a company. This doesn't mean you're just going to do your research and then automatically invest in this company, right? But it gives you the starting point, and then you're going to see the competitors and then do research on them and see how what they're like compared to this company, right? So again, this is just like the starting point of where to get your investment ideas from and your research from. And using this saves a lot of time versus the old traditional ways where it was very hard to find the information out there, when this literally takes seconds. Or when you're doing this it takes like minutes. But again, the time comparison, it's crazy how efficient this is and how much time this actually saves you. And I'm going to show you other ways on how to use this as well, so stay with me. All right, so we finally got done. That took a little bit, but here it is. So it's going to give us everything that we're looking for. So the company overview, when it was founded, and then look, it even throws in like former Apple CEO, Pepsi president, um, where they're listed on, and then you can see it gives a really nice chart here. And I didn't even ask for the chart, but it actually gave this out. This is actually really nice. Um, Talking about their global revenue and their year-over-year growth, financial performance, growth trajectory, has all EBITDA, free cash flow, all of that stuff in there. Uh, Customer metrics for Q1 of 2024 to 2025, business model showing you how do they collect their revenue streams, which is something you absolutely need to know when you're investing into a company, core products. So you can kind of see, and then you look here with their competitive landscape. Really, really nice to give all of this stuff. Talks even gives you growth opportunities and risk factors. So, for example, if you're unsure what something means in here, so if you're unfamiliar with a sector or industry, so let me try to find an example here. So let's go to their products really, really quick. All right, so core products. So a unified foundation that collects, resolves, and enriches customer data across channels, first party data ingestion to create persistent, privacy compliant. So enables marketers to execute campaigns across multiple channels. So let's just use this for an example. Actually, let's use this one, the intelligence layer. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's say you want to intelligence layer. If you want to find out more about the intelligence layer, tell me more about their intelligence layer and explain it to me in simple terms so I can understand. And this isn't the deep research one. You want this fast. It shouldn't take long. So, and then it's just going to basically explain it to you and break it down where you can really understand it, and it talks about how it works, what's special about it, and then in simple terms right out here. Imagine your marketing team has a super smart assistant who reads every customer's mind, predicts what they'll do next, and automatically sends them the perfect message at just the right time. So, sounds really, really good. And this is how easy it is and how well it breaks things down. So, that's one way that you could use this. Going to the next use case here. So right here where it says S&P 500 transcripts, I really like this because this will give you example prompts that other people are using. And you could basically just use that prompt and just go into it. So we'll find a good one here. All right. So one prompt here is go through Uber, Google, Tesla to find out how they make money in the robo taxis. So, how they make money in the robotaxi space, then build a TAM, which is the total addressable market analysis, using total US miles driven, um, and then 20% market share times the amount per mile that Uber charges. So this is a really good prompt that somebody used, and you can literally use this, and you can just see what it does. And this is really nice because you don't even have to think of the prompt sometimes. This will help you just take prompts from what other people are doing. And then look, it even gives you these really nice charts, total addressable market analysis, which is really nice, competitive positioning, gives you everything that you're asking for. And honestly, like seeing Perplexity come out with this is a really big game changer because again, this is very simple. And on the other websites like ChatGPT, it's not really like as friendly for a lot of people, especially if you're just starting out and you may not know what prompts to use. This helps you tremendously. They have stock screeners as well. You can mess around with that. So give me Microsoft's report transcripts. I mean, Microsoft's recent earnings report. The important metrics. Should give us a much better one. Yeah, there we go. So don't even go to the transcript one. Just go to the normal prompt page, and it'll give you everything that you need. So March, Q1 highlights, so productivity and business processes. It'll give you how much and then what the growth was year over year. Key growth drivers, and then it'll give you a really nice table so you can kind of compare that. So you can kind of just see like how nice this is, and this saves a lot of time. Now, if you're into like listening to the earnings calls, then obviously you're going to want to do that anyway. But this is really nice. And then even in here, right, you can see like it'll give you the smaller things that like you might overlook when you're looking into earnings reports, right? Like gaming saw a major boost. The Activision Blizzard acquisition significantly increased their Xbox content and services revenue, right? Like something that I think like a lot of people might overlook when they're looking themselves. They might see that in here and be like, "Oh wow, like I didn't even realize that." So this is really really nice, and it saves a ton of time for you. So something else that you could do is a profile builder. So this is really really nice. So you could use this, or you could use the regular prompt page that the first page that you get brought to. So let's just say, for example, if you want to learn about Chime Financial, there's already a prompt here. Now Chime just recently IPO'd, so maybe you want to learn about them before investing into this IPO company, right? So somebody already did an analysis on Chime, so you don't even have to waste the time on entering the prompt, and you can see everything that it gives out, the products and services, liquidity management. They're banks, so obviously you want to learn about that or know about that, and it gives you all of this really good stuff. And again, the amount of time that this saves you is insane. So take advantage of it. Don't get left behind because AI is, if you use it right, it is a game changer. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and you gained some type of value from this. Definitely give me a like, comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this type of content, and I'll see you in the next one.